For the last 7 years, Chiron and Aries has been asking Generation X the same hard question. Is it safe to be me? In a matter of days, it leaves Aries for just a little bit. And then by the time April of 2027 comes around, it'll have left Aries for good. And so your initiation as the wounded healer is complete, even if you still feel wounded. So it's time to take stock of what this moon has made you become, because even if you don't truly feel healed, this is the one wound you can now masterfully heal in others, and the one thing you are born to lead with. In this finale of my 4-part Chiron and Taurus series, I want to invite you, the Chiron and Aries generation, to fully accept that your imperfections are exactly what make you the perfect leader, and that what you live through is the very healing you're here to bring the world. I'm Leslie Tagorda, a business astrologer and creator of the Astro Brand Method, blending more than 20 years of brand strategy with the precision of astrology to help entrepreneurs and underrepresented leaders make their mark. Okay, my friends, I know we're talking about Chiron and Taurus, but for my Chiron and Aries folks like myself, it's time for us to reflect and look back so we can fully integrate our learnings. Now, remember that the Chiron return hits sometime between 48 and 52. And I mentioned earlier that I, of course, started mine early. All my retrograde planets, I get my transits even before people that are older than me. And that was a wild one for me, the Chiron return. I am so glad that I had all of my learning tools, that I already knew what to expect. I knew the story, I knew how it was going to impact me, and I could accept the things rolling my way. Now, I'm not going to air my dirty laundry, but if you invite me to coffee or sometime, I would tell you all of my Chiron return story because it was really messy. And messy isn't always bad, because it was meant to come messy, because it really helped me come to terms with people who caused me real pain, including myself. Now, my Chiron and Aries, as I mentioned in part one, is in my 11th house. Is it safe to be in groups, in friend groups, in community groups, in my extended family and tribe? What I realized as I was going through my Chiron return was that I didn't have to be like everyone else. That was the survival mode of like little 5-year-old me trying to navigate my 3 large families. And instead, what really finally welcomely came through as I was going through my Chiron return at 48 was that my wisdom and my greatness and my leadership comes from being myself. Of course, I went into astrology trying to answer, who am I? Is it safe to be me? And when we attune to our natal chart, especially in our leadership and our brand, we have nothing to compare to, right? I didn't have to be like everyone else as a mixed race kid. I didn't have to be like everyone else. When I was a little kid as a mixed race, I really thought that I had to fit in. And so I really squished myself and conformed myself. And that's why the comparisonitis. But my truth is that my gifts come from being wildly different, feeling neither too much nor too little. I grew more comfortable and confident as my weird self in groups. And instead of like feeling like I didn't fit into communities, I intentionally built my own communities and started creating invitations for the things that I've always wanted. Now, because for this Aries generation, we have mostly all have gone through our Chiron returns, there's a really fun fact in the publishing industry that many of the most successful authors land their book deals or release their most successful books after their Chiron returns. Because, I mean, hello, friends, we now have become these masterful wounded healers. We have built our temple. We have the experience of healing others. And now we are meant to share that with the world because we finally have our wisdom to impart. Now, remember, I have my book coming out, Astrology for Changemakers. It's available for pre-order, and pre-orders matter so much. Every pre-order that you that comes through counts to the first week of sales. And wouldn't it be amazing to have an astrology book as a bestseller, an astrology book written by a woman of color on the bestsellers list? So if you haven't already, please head over to your favorite bookseller and order Astrology for Changemakers, coming out September 8th with Wiser Books. So if you have Chiron in Aries, I want you to look back. And even if you didn't do the work when you were going through your Chiron return, it's not too late to reflect and integrate. Because as we're finishing up our Chiron returns, I want you to get to the heart of that one core identity wound that you reclaimed. How did you do it? How do you help other people's reclaim their identity wounds in their leadership? And what is your healing temple that you are masterfully contributing to heal in others? This is a big one for us. And I really urge you to do this deep reflection, because we're not going to get another chance to do this again. All right. If you're a Gen Xer with Chiron and Aries, tell me your core identity wound that you reclaimed. All right. I hope you enjoyed this 4-part Chiron in Taurus episode. I will be hosting a Chiron leadership course very soon. In the past, I've done a Chiron in midlife awakening, a Chiron in leadership. And if this is something that is interesting to you, let me know, and I can prioritize getting that on the schedule, because I will be teaching again starting in September of 2026, now that my own healing journey is complete. All right. I'd love to know what you think. Bye for now. So thank you again. If this podcast has touched your heart, please share it with others. Please leave me a rating and review so we can reach the hearts of even more changemakers like you.